Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man.
Hey guys, you're kicking it with Rob and Tara. Today, Rob wanted to go over his last surgery, but he wanted to start from the beginning. So we have some pictures leading up until this surgery, and then we'll discuss the recent surgery and how Rob feels. So I guess we'll get started. So as you can see, Rob pulled up a picture from the placement of his hardware after his accident in July of 2016. He has hardware in the T10 area where it is a complete separation of the spinal cord, and C5 and C6 hardware where there is an incomplete spinal injury. The C5, C6 hardware is what was placing up against the esophagus, causing the stricture to happen. A stricture, by Google's definition, is an abnormal narrowing of the esophagus. So in this picture, you can see that is the esophagus leading down to the stomach. They can go in and dilate it with a balloon and catheter, and usually they also, for Rob, they cut out that scar tissue. They also place stents, dilate, inject with Botox. They have laid a membrane before, and stents as well. So next picture. So as you can see here, that is an esophageal stent. An esophagus stent is a flexible tube made of plastic, silicone, or metal mesh that is placed in the esophagus to keep a blocked area open. And you can see that when it's placed, it does keep a stenosed area, a strictured part of the esophagus, open. And Rob has had 3 of those. The last one was removed in January when they placed this feeding tube, when they thought there was a fistula. And a fistula is an abnormal connection between the organs, which, as you can see here, there's a fistula leading somewhere. This is somebody else's. Rob's would be somewhere near his trach site. But when they went in to repair that, they did not see one. They seen a completely, what they called 100% stenosed area of the esophagus, which is why they backed out in that surgery and wanted to do a more complete reconstruction of the esophagus, doing a flap of muscle. So with that being said, the last surgery was July 18th. They wanted to go in, pull the esophagus up into the neck, cut the esophagus strictured out, and replace it with a flap of muscle that they would roll up from the forearm. So it would be an indwelling skin graft. However, when they went in that morning, they were not able to pull the esophagus up into the neck like they wanted or thought that they could or should be able to do. Unfortunately, due to the amount of endoscopies and stretchings, The scar tissue is pretty bad. It does not no longer stretch, they said, or they could not get it to stretch in that instance. They tried for hours, and even after they tried some more. Unfortunately, it was just a failed procedure. So moving forward, Rob is interested in another opinion. We did talk to one of his doctors about an opinion out in Pittsburgh. We're really going to slow down this time, really listen to people, maybe see where we can go with this. Rob does get all his nutrients by peg tube as far as hydration, nutrition, and medication, so it can be feasible to stay like this. I can imagine that it's not a happy place to be in life for forever, but right now that is where we are. You can still swallow some things, ice cream and candy. We try and keep it sugar free to the best of our ability, because the secretions get pretty bad. And again, that last surgery was not to be able to eat or swallow, correct? It was to help be able to clear some of those secretions. And maybe there's other alternatives. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start looking and searching, maybe get more opinions surgically wise, but not put the gas anywhere just yet. We really want to just take our time. And so does he. He's not willing to do this stomach extractomy as it's a high risk for him, and I don't think the surgeon was really willing to either. That's not to say that medicine doesn't advance and we can't get even other options elsewhere. So if you have any suggestions or doctors or even experience with this particular thing, you can email, you can comment below. Let us know. We're really curious what has worked for you, even if it's just for the secretions. I know that this surgery has left Rob feeling a little bit defeated in some aspects, but there's a lot of gratitude to be had as well that he has. His voice is slowly coming back, so I know he's been excited about that each morning he wakes up. So I know that when his voice does come back, he'll be expressing those hardships that he had in the hospital, as well as his feelings towards this particular surgery. I know he just really wanted a clear message of what happened and where we're at and maybe where we're going. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and as always, catch you on the next one.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man.